Hey everyone, it's me again. I'm back with another model review. This time we are going over the Altaya 1/72 scale Sturmpanzer IV brummbar. This is a pretty cool model and it comes fully assembled. The gun does elevate and depress within limited range, but it does not traverse from side to side. Now a little bit of background information about this tank. This tank was designed for street fighting and close warfare. It was mounted with the 15 centimeter Stu-43, and it fired high explosive and hollow charge shells, and on some other occasions, smoke shells. The early production of this tank usually weighed between 32 and 34 tons, which is very heavy for the Panzer IV chassis, because of the Panzer IV only weighed 22 tons. So this tank was subject to a lot of breakdowns and mechanical failures. Now let's get to the model itself before I keep explaining everything like crazy. This tank was designed in 1942 and started production in 1943 and it lived its life throughout the war until 1945. There was about 308 built, but it is uncertain up to this day exactly how many were built. And there was only 4 surviving Sturmpanzer IVs today, because the rest were either destroyed or just scrapped. So let's get to the model. So here, let me zoom you guys in. Focus. There we go. So here's, oh, sorry guys, sorry. Knocked over the book I was using as a tripod. So here is the jackrest block, the headlight that you would always see in all German tanks. This is where the driver sat. These are his optics. This is the spare track that sat on top of the hatches that gave you access to the transmission. Alright, and right here we have the axe and this other tank tool that I do not know about. And then here's the massive and short-barreled gun. I love how it's depicted, and it's pretty cool. And here's 2 hooks for where you could store hats, guns, and whatever you want to store on that. Here is one of the, well, I don't know what this is, but there's a small lump right here, and that's a machine gun port in case of desperate situations of close fighting. An MP40, a light machine gun, would also be inside of the tank to be fired through these pistol ports. Here's the Balkan Cross and number 46. This tank in specific was part of the reserve tanks of the Sturmpanzer Battalion number 216. So, just in case you were about to ask me about that. Right up here we have the periscope that's supposed to be here, but they didn't put it on there. We have the air vent, I'm pretty sure, the commander's hatch, and the machine gunner's hatch. This hatch here could be equipped with the MG-34 machine gun and could be fired like that. But it cannot traverse from side to side. It can only go to one direction. The later production models had a machine gun ring on the commander's cupola, like the Sturmgeschütz 3 and Sturmgeschütz 4. Had something like that on there so they could mount the MG-34 or MG-42. And also in the later production there would be a MG-34 machine gun right here. Alright, let's get to the back of the tank. So we've got engine radiators, a little step place here, a air vent hatch, 2 little hooks right here. This could also be used to put ammo inside the tank. Fire extinguisher, ratchet, shovel, pliers slash tree cutters to add camo to the tank for like trees and stuff so it could hide better. We have pliers, I think. No, that's a wrench, sorry. And then we have some towing hooks here. We have a small storage box here and the 4 spare wheels on the back. And then here we have the exhaust protection here, and then this is the exhaust, the muffler, I should say. There's that. There's the mud guards, pretty accurately depicted, and then there's a light back here. And then there's a jack right here, pretty cool looking. And then here's the other side of the tank. Pretty realistic. Now I must explain a few things to you guys. Alright, hold up. Can't zoom out that much. So, Altaya decided to make an early production of this tank and a late production of this tank. Like their production, not like the late production models that I told you about of the Sturmpanzer IV. So, there's 2 kinds of this tank. There's either the early production, which is higher quality and the gun moves. And there's also the late production, which is a bit less quality and the gun sometimes doesn't move. And there's also the half and half models. Like they get a lot of the early, they get some early and some late production stuff. Also, there's a lot of notable paint scratches here. I like to call them ricochet marks, so yeah, they came naturally with the model, which I didn't like really. Also, on the early production, the Balkan Cross and the 46 are in this general area, and the late production, they're up here. I got a half and half model, because, yeah, the gun moves. It's pretty realistic. Yeah, oh, I almost forgot the tracks. Can't forget about those tracks. So, yeah, tracks are very realistic. Panzer IV Aus H chassis. Yeah, it doesn't get really any better than that, but they could really improve this front wheel here. By the way, the back part of this wheel that I'm pointing at, some of the wheels are loose and they can come off and break. So I super glued all of them for maximum security. Let me go over the tracks. Tracks are pretty realistic, but not as realistic as, like, let's just say, take for example a Dragon model would be. Alright, hold up. Let's let this focus. And here's the underside. Here's the holes where the screws go. Pretty cool. And that's it. So that's basically everything about the model itself. It's my all-time favorite tank, and this is my favorite paint scheme. 3-color camo. So I really like it. And I will put the link. I will try and put the link of where I got this thing in the description, and some other alternative stores where you can get it at just about the same price. Alright. I hope I don't take too much of your time, guys, because I know my videos have a reputation of being long. So, oh, I can't show the tripod. Let's zoom out a bit. Oh, God. Come on. Alright. Let me pause this. Alright, this is a little display place, and you could read that right there. I'll give you a moment. Sturmpanzer IV brummbar sd.kfz.166. Sturmpanzer Bataillon 216. Rome, Italy, 1944. Now I'll show you what it looks like with the tank on it. Now let's center line this. Alright, let's see if I can. Alright. There we go. Just about how it looks. Wait, let me make sure it's fully center lined. There we go. That's how it looks. That's the display case. So I was very, very, very satisfied with this model. I would highly recommend it to any other modeler. And I hope you like this video. So be sure to like, comment your thoughts, and subscribe. And I will try and put the link in this. Well, there will be 2 links in the description at where you can get this model. See you then.